This is Razorblade Mango, and yep, I've got my own theme music now, and my own logo, if you want to call it that. I want to give a special shout out to my good friend Razorwrath, who made the theme music and the logo for me. So I salute you, brother. You are a fucking saint, dude. And also, I want, if you're looking on this thing, you've clicked on the video, and you see that I'm about to review Ryse, Son of Rome, an Xbox One exclusive. I don't own an Xbox One. I merely got to play this game, the whole game. It's not a very long one. Pretty much all afternoon and a good chunk of my evening. So I've played and beaten Ryse, Son of Rome, and I've tried out. My friend and I, that I went to his house, we played the game. We did the co-op stuff. So I feel comfortable, even though I don't own it. I feel comfortable enough giving a review of it. And just some background history of this game. Actually, no. I want to make this clear. I am not reviewing the Xbox One. I'm reviewing Ryse, Son of Rome. I don't want to hear about how, like, oh, you didn't talk crap about the Xbox One. What the fuck do you know about this game if you don't even own an Xbox One? So? So fucking what? Really, who fucking cares? But Ryse, Son of Rome, this game was directed by the guys at Crytek. If you don't know who Crytek is, they are the guys that originally made the Far Cry series, and they're best known for Crysis. And this was a seriously good move on Microsoft's part to have these guys make a game, a launch game for the Xbox One, because these guys, their studio, Crytek, they create the best graphics, some of the best graphics on the planet. I mean, their games on Crysis especially Crysis 3, it looks stunning. Like, these are some of the best looking games ever. They're absolutely just gorgeous, and it was a smart move to have these guys make a launch game. And Ryse, Son of Rome is definitely something new from Crytek. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not even a third-person shooter. It's just it's a third-person action game where you control this Roman general named Marius Titus, and the whole story takes place within 10 years of his life, where he went from like a small kind of soldier to being the most like well-known general in all of Rome at this point. How much this is based on reality, I have no idea, but whatever. And it's the story, they described it as this epic tale of revenge spanning an entire lifetime. And that's pretty much all you need to know. It's from a revenge standpoint in the story. Yeah, it's really all you need to know. It follows the typical story of hero comes home from the war, hero's family gets killed, hero goes back into war and becomes a bloodthirsty badass to kill everyone that killed his family. So there you go, standard revenge story. Let me start with the story itself, which a lot of people are going to skip over because they're going to talk about like the graphics and the controls and the sound design. They're especially going to focus on the graphics. I want to talk about the story. I really liked the story in Ryse, Son of Rome. It was not the best written, not even the best acted, but it was interesting, and it was consistently fun to watch. And there are some pretty spectacularly gory moments in this game. And some of like the when you go against the people that have betrayed you, killed your family, you deliver like a really badass revenge against them. It's bloody, it's flashy, and it just feels really satisfying to see these people that have fucked you over just die a horrible death. And it was like playing God of War all over again. And also, there's some despicable villains in this game. I don't remember the names, but like the the Emperor, he's kind of an asshole. And the sons, these sons are horrible human beings. They are despicable. They are like two of the most evil brats I've seen that weren't from Game of Thrones. These guys give Joffrey a run for his money. And what's funny, I think another reviewer pointed this out, they kind of sound, one of them sounds like the Joker, and the other one kind of sounds like Bane at one point. And it was actually kind of funny to hear that. And I also really liked Marius, the main character. He's noble. He has an interesting character arc. He's not exactly relatable, but you can really identify with his struggle, and you feel for the guy. A lot of people are going to say he's bland, he's boring. I liked him. And his friend also in the Roman army. And this game is kind of a buddy game where I really felt a strong friendship between these two men, and I actually really wanted to see where their story went, and I really liked the campaign. Now, my one downside about the campaign, the ending is too short, and it's kind of stupid. It pulls this dumb twist that, while I didn't exactly predict, only because no one can predict that. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of a lame ending. Not lame ending, but just a lame thing that happens at the end. And also, let's talk about graphics. I got to play this on my friend's nice 45-inch TV. I think it's 45-inch. 1080p, at least that's what the TV was. I don't know what the resolution is for Son of Rome. I'm going to guess it's 1080p, only because, I don't know, maybe... Actually, you know what? Let me look this up while I talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game are stunning. Oh my god. This game, on a graphical level, this game truly displays the power of the next-gen consoles, and I am so excited to see what comes next for the Xbox One in terms of graphics. Oh my god, I cannot... Wow. This is... Okay, and it's 900p resolution, and it looks gorgeous. It's a stunning piece of work, and really, there's a lot of, like, the character facial animations are top-notch. Every little environment in the background is stunning. The character movements, the models, they all look like kind of creepily realistic, but it's still really cool to see just the gigantic leap in graphics from the last gen to now. And also, like, the blood looks great. There's none of that, like, where if you slice open an enemy, the blood will come out and it will kind of just disappear. It actually hits the floor, it hits you, it hits the person you're killing, it hits someone next to him. The blood in this game is great. And the game runs pretty silky smooth. There are only a couple hiccups at some points, but for the most part, it ran buttery smooth, really nice. It looks great. The art design, incredible. If you're going to this game thinking, oh, this is going to be a realistic take on Rome, no. They have some fantasy elements in here. They have some pretty outrageous situations in this game, but they're all designed beautifully. I mean, just looking at this game was great. It just looks so good, and I can't wait to get... I'm not saying I can't wait to get an Xbox One. I can't wait to get a PlayStation 4 and hop on to this the next gen console, so I can have games that look this damn good. And there's another thing I wanted to say that... damn. Oh, well, I'm having a little trouble remembering. I'll see if I can come back to that later. The sound design, also great. The music, not particularly memorable, but it gets the job done. You can hear the drums thump, 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 and the trumpets go boom, 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 and you feel cool while you're fighting. I also really liked the voice actors in the game. The guy, I don't know any names. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. I don't know any of the names of the voice actors, but they all do a good job. I I can't really name any highlights. I'm trying to think besides maybe one of the Emperor's despicable sons, only because he sounded kind of like the Joker. Yeah, I really no standouts as far as voice acting is concerned, but it's all good. There isn't a bad performance in this. And yeah, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, the gameplay is below average. It is kind of boring, very repetitive, and just, thankfully it's a short campaign, but still, the gameplay is just not, and I know I'm echoing what a lot of people have said, but I agree. The gameplay just is not good. It's just pretty uninspired. It's your typical hack and slash. You do the thing where you roll and you find different strategies around unblockable enemies, and some enemies have two swords or a sword that's on fire, or someone has like a giant hammer or some shit. Really, the gameplay is just boring, and really, it never changes strategy. Well, it does change strategy, but never changes the gameplay significantly, even like when it's a completely different situation than like what you've normally been faced with like a couple minutes back in the... Say, like, I'm going to give an example. There's a part in the game where you have to go through this long... Actually, many parts of the game are like this, where you have to go through this long line of just generic enemies, and you just hack, 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 slash, 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 execution move, and the enemy will be highlighted in whichever color of whichever button on the Xbox One controller that you need to hit, and you just do that. You do hack, 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 slash, 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 execution kill, hack, 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 slash, 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 execution kill, hack, 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 slash, 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 execution kill, and that goes on for what feels like an hour. Until maybe you get to a boss battle, and the boss battle has that whole unblockable thing where you fight it, and you get its health down, but it just does that thing where it's like, oh, well now we have to split this fight, we have to draw this fight out, so my health bar is just going to randomly replenish. Why? I don't know. Fuck it. Okay. And I'd be alright with the boss's health bar replenishing if they changed their strategy. If they made, I'm not gonna say transformed into a new form, but maybe like added some kind of new weapon to the battle to mix up the strategy. But no, it's really like you're fighting the boss twice in a row, and it's dull. And yeah, I just could not get into the gameplay of this thing. And technically, not technically, but occasionally, the hack, 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 slash, 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 execution kill thing takes a backseat to maybe like a part you saw if you watched the E3 demo, you saw that part where they did like the 300 thing where they put their shields up and they block against arrows and enemies. And you can do that, but they do that every now and then, but it's boring, it's way too easy, it's just meh. And I think a lot of what the game reminded me of was this old this old game released, I don't know when, it was called Spartan Total Warrior, and it was back on the original Xbox and the GameCube, and I think the PS2, but Ryse Son of Rome reminded me a lot of Spartan Total Warrior. And because they're both like the hack and slash, and they do the execution kill things, and you gotta fight multiple enemies at once. Except Spartan Total War, that had fun combat. It was easy to learn, and yet there were different strategies applied to each battle. Each enemy was kind of different, and you have to really keep up with, you have to establish a flow with the combat in order to survive. It reminded me a lot of what Batman Arkham, the Arkham or not Origins, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and a little bit Arkham Origins does, where like you have to maintain a flow, and you have to really like watch out and be on your toes, and you have to keep eye contact with all the enemies around you. Ryse Son of Rome doesn't really do that. It's kind of getting there, but it's way too easy, and it suffers from the Assassin's Creed thing where you're like taking like 5 sword like slashes into an enemy like during the execution kills, and his friends are just around you and just kind of standing there and watching as you're killing their friend in like a really grisly way, and then they just line up and attack you. And I granted, Ryse Son of Rome, they actually do attack you in groups, something I wish Assassin's Creed would do, but the gameplay just is not good. It's just kind of boring, and if I wasn't so interested in the story, I kind of would have given up and asked to like switch to something else, because I really did want to see where this story was going to go. And I also got to try out the Kinect, which you can use the Kinect to like to shout commands at your soldiers during those raise shields moments, but it's really just not. It's not worth. How much is this damn game right now? $59.99. I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating for this game because no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I forgot to cover one thing. The multiplayer. I actually kind of like the multiplayer, even if it's the same combat. I did like the multiplayer where you and a friend can go into like a gladiator, like the Coliseum, and the Coliseum would like the arenas would change, and there'd be like different kind of environments, and you have to use more strategy in there, and there's actually like some cool parts where you and the friend can both stab the same enemy at the same time. That I thought was fucking awesome. But again, it's just it's forgettable because of the combat. And the combat just isn't that great. It's just not, I'm not gonna say it sucks, and it's not the worst. The combat isn't horrible, like a lot of people I've been reading have been saying. They're like, oh, this game has shallow, blah, 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 this combat is horrible. It is shallow, it is repetitive, it's not bad. It's just uninspired. And if they had taken the time to like establish some kind of new way to deal with enemies like this in a way, like God of War has already been doing this kind of way, and the Arkham series has been doing this. They just need to come up with something else. They needed to come up with gameplay and a combat system that feels next gen. And everything else in this game feels next gen. The graphics, easily next gen. The art design, easily next gen. The combat, no, not next gen. Really, now I'm going to move on to my final rating. Really, when it's all said and done, if you play games strictly for like story and atmosphere and graphics, this is easily like, yes, you have to buy this game. If you say, well, I don't give a shit about the combat, I can deal with repetitive stuff, yes, absolutely, buy this game. This game is fantastic on that level. But if you're like me and you look for like the complete package, like great gameplay, great graphics, great visuals, great story, great sound design, this is just a meh. I would recommend maybe like renting this, or you know what? Go on YouTube and watch the cutscenes for this game. I'm gonna look up and see if they have made a movie for this right now. If you are like me and want the complete package of the great gameplay and the great sound and the great graphics, this is really just a meh. And either I recommend you rent it, or you go on and watch Ryse Son of Rome, the movie, based on like the cutscenes from this game. But really, I'm not going to say I was disappointed by this game, because I was expecting the combat, because I didn't really like the E3 demo that was shown last June for this game. So I'm not surprised that I didn't like the combat, but I was surprised by how much I got into the story. And watching the E3 demo like on YouTube, or watching the game like on YouTube or on like the E3 stage, really doesn't do justice to how fantastic it looks on like an actual 1080p HD TV. It looks amazing, and hopefully other games utilize, well, they will. This will only get better from here. As a tech demo, Ryse Son of Rome is phenomenal, but as an actual game, it's just kind of average. So I really don't recommend it to, like, at the price that it is now, $59.99. No fucking way. Wait till it's down like $29.99 or even $19.99. Wait for that. Like, as a game to show your buddies when they come over to your house and they want to go, well, we want to see a game on the Xbox One. You pop in this game after you've paid only $19.99 for it. Show them this game, watches their eyes like about to pop from their skull as to how amazing it looks. You'll get your $20 worth just because of that. But as a gameplay experience, it's very, 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 very mediocre. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching my review. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you agree with the game, agree with me. If you agree, disagree, or just am interested in this game, hey, let me know. Post it in the comments. And as always, have a good one, guys.